Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Donald Trump is so predictable, we can already tell what lies he's going to say this week. I'll predict them. Also, a lot of celebrity deaths. We'll talk about that and so much more on this Monday, June 22nd, Karel Show. Thank you for joining us.
Now it's showtime.
Also, coming up later in the show, we have the premiere of my new song, You Have to Be Proud. I am Karel. Just 1 week ahead of the Stonewall Riot anniversary. I'm debuting a new song. It will not be out commercially by Stonewall, but, you know, you'll hear it here. All right, we got so much to talk about this week, and R.I.P. Clive Davis, an influential force in music. We'll talk about him passing. Alan Greenspan just died. He was 100. Clive Davis was 94. We'll talk about that, but just want to start with asking how your weekend was. Mine was certainly eventful. A lot of you know that I had to have my car repaired, $2,300. I agonized over it to get it smogged, and they had to replace like sensors and all kinds of things, and they did it. But afterwards, there was this little gurgling sound when I pressed on the gas. It went away after you accelerated, and it was very light, and you know, and then the lights came back on. So I had called, and they said bring it back in, and then I had to go to Long Beach and stuff. So not in that car. I rented a car. But I brought it back in yesterday, or I was on my way to bring it back in, and I stalled on the strip. Oh, my God. First of all, that car has never stalled. The first time ever. And it stalled on the strip. I was panic-stricken. I'm like, oh, my God, they're going to hate me. But then it started again, and Ember and I turned onto Flamingo to head home because I thought, get home. And so we were going over the overpass, over the 15 overpass, and we had to press on the gas to accelerate. And when we did, that loud noise, the gurgling sound got really loud, and then the car blew up. And I'm not making that up. A very loud boom came from under the hood. The hood in the middle buckled up. It went back down, but it went poof. And then white smoke and steam came out from the engine. We coasted over to the shoulder on the overpass on Flamingo. Got Ember out of the car immediately. Didn't know what was going on. 105 degrees. It was just bad. It was a bad situation. Called Steve. He immediately left his house to come get us. And then I called AAA, and they made it a priority because we were on an overpass. And they came right when Steve got there. And now they've towed it back to the place that did the work. And we'll see. I called them this morning, and they did seem honorable. They said if it was anything that they did, they would make it right. At least they didn't say, well, you know, but so I'm like, okay, well, okay. So we'll see. But that was my joyous weekend. My car literally blew up, and I was scared. I didn't know if it was like, it blew up like boom. There was a boom sound, like boom. And the hood went poof. And oh, it was scary. It was so scary, actually. It was pretty frightening. So that was what was going on for my weekend. I hope yours wasn't quite as eventful, but that was something. I was going to go eat. We were on our way to go eat, and then that didn't happen. Steve had to rescue us, and he did. And then we went and got Chef Kenny. So that was at least that. So there we have that. That was my weekend, and we don't know what will happen with the car. But if it's going to be too much money, or if they want to charge me for the repair, then I may not have a car anymore because I'm not dumping more money into a 2001 car, 25-year-old car. Peebo Bryson's funeral is going on right now. I have many friends there, and Angela Winbush is there. My friend Emily Johnson is watching, many people. So we got Peebo's funeral going on, and then we have Clive Davis dying. And then we have Alan Greenspan. So for those of you wondering about your three, there it is. There's your three. And now, of course, we have the saga of Donald Trump. And, you know, as I was prepping the show and looking for other topics for the week, I realized that It is not hard to predict the lies from Donald Trump now. It's really not hard. He is a consistent liar. And you have these people in your life. You know what they're going to lie about, when they're going to lie. You know if they get cornered, they're going to lie. You know if they, you know if there's something going on in their world that they don't want you to know about, they're going to lie. You know when they're going to lie. And now with Donald Trump, we know when he is going to lie. So we will start with his first lies over the weekend that he told, because he told some whoppers. So we'll get to those and other things today over this wonderful June 22nd Monday. During the heat wave in Europe, heat wave here. Oh, and Carrie Sommer resigning over in Europe. That's
if you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Remember, if you want to chat with me or a group of wonderful other people, it's youtube.com/reallykarel, really Karel, during the show, 10 to 11. There are chatters there that you can share your opinions with, like, subscribe, do all that. youtube.com/reallykarel. And if you want to make sure the show continues, then you become a patron at patreon.com/reallykarel. That's patreon.com/reallykarel. Karel is the name spelling, and follow on Instagram at Karel Official. I don't even want you to use TikTok. I have a TikTok account, but you don't have to follow me there. There's too many haters. The comments are too horrible and vitriolic, and you don't have to follow me there. Coming up later, there'll be a debut of my new single, You Have to Be Proud. I like it a lot. I hope you do too. And speaking of the haters, I'm noticing now there's a lot of haters in the gay community coming forward. People that are all, I don't mind being LGB, but I don't want to be, TQIA. Young gay people are suffering the same malady as young straight people. They're idiots. They are complete and total idiots with no sense of history, no sense of self, no sense of pride, and always looking to blame someone else. So gay men somehow now are blaming trans people for their lot in life because they're idiots and they know nothing. And they don't know anything of the struggles. They don't know anything of why or how we pulled together. They don't know anything. And now there's this influencer. He's gay, but he's straight acting. And he has started a club called the Brotherhood for other straight acting masculine gays. And he's throwing these $5,000 and $7,000 retreats for you to go and be around other straight acting masculine gays. And he's using rhetoric right out of Andrew Tate. I mean, the exact words, Matrix this and blah, 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 that. And this guy's an idiot and a moron. And every time I hear this straight acting, yeah, it's an act. And why would you want to live your life acting, in your personal life? I mean, if you're an actor or an actress, of course, professionally, yeah. But why would you want to spend your life acting? Straight acting. Like that's something to emulate. These young gay people seem to think that if you're a man, acting straight is something to emulate. Are you kidding me? Being gay is fabulous. And being a gay male is fabulous because you can act however you fucking want. You don't have societal confines telling you, oh, don't wear mascara. Oh, don't wear glitter. Oh, you can't wear that flowy thing. Oh, you can't cry. You can't show your emotions. You can't have empathy. We don't have any of that. We get to be exactly who we want to be. And these queens are like, oh, I'm going to join the Brotherhood and be in the straight acting masculine. That just means they all fight for the lube to see who's going to be the bottom. But whatever. So over the weekend, the National Guard and Donald Trump did possibly one of the most ridiculous things that's going to end up in lawsuits that will be won because they arrested 14 people for vandalizing the reflecting pool. And now he's blaming vandals for the problems. See? A lie. He's blaming people. They say he's out there saying people have dumped unknown chemicals in there to destroy the paint, and the Democrats. He literally debated over the weekend whether to call us Dumbocrats, or Democrats. And he is out there spreading the lies with Fox News that it's vandals that have caused the problem and not his incompetence and the incompetence of the no-bid contract to his friend who probably kicked him back $10 million that is out there. And so an Olympian was there and saw the paint peeling up and reached down and touched it to feel its texture and was arrested. All these cases will be arresting someone for vandalism at that reflecting pool is like arresting someone for littering in a dump. Okay? It truly is. It's like busting someone for littering in a landfill. And so none of the cases will proceed. They all will be thrown out, and those people will have a case for malicious prosecution. Meanwhile, he's blaming vandals. He stood at the reflecting pool and said out loud, "Who would do such a thing? You did, you orange demented frack." I mean, I guess he's so demented he forgot he's the one that gave the orders. Then on Father's Day yesterday, which I always forget about because my dad's been gone for decades, he posted something on Truth Social with some woman that nobody really knows. It was a woman, possibly the wife of a big fundraiser, and the picture was taken at Camp David under Bill Clinton. And he posted, nice daughter, such an honor. It wasn't his daughter. Everyone thought he'd just lost his mind. Like he thinks that's Ivana or Ivanka. And he still hasn't explained the post. No one knows what it means because he's insane. And so he's started the week by lying about the reflecting pool. Then he lied about Air Force One. He stood in front of the old one and said how great it was that our military keeps it spotless and perfect. And then said it was so tired and shabby he had to take the new one from Qatar and be on it, which cost us millions of dollars. Of course, they've done nothing but lie about the Iran war is still going on. The strait's not open. And yesterday in Geneva, where the gay boy there, J.D. Vance, is, they said they have a roadmap to a plan for talks in 60 days. I've heard vague before, okay? I've heard people avoid answers to the question, but that is like the Olympic gold medal of evading a question, or how to say we've made zero progress without saying we've made zero progress. We are on the path to a good roadmap to negotiations in 60 days. What? That certainly doesn't sound like unconditional surrender from a country that was beaten to a pulp. Again, Donald Trump lying. Oh, no, we destroyed them. We beat them to a pulp. They're begging for peace. Really? Because if they're begging for peace, why are you doing a roadmap to an agenda for a meeting in 60 days? Because you're hugely incompetent. Because you're hugely incompetent. And so we have a president who spent $14 million on a reflecting pool on renovations we didn't need to make it worse. Now it looks like a swamp with a peeling bunch of paint. We have a president who keeps spouting that we've won the war in Iran when we have not. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. There is no real plan for peace. We have a president that says he's healthy. He's not. We have a president posting images of strange women and saying, nice daughter, with no explanation, showing his dementia. And we have a Congress, a House and Senate defending him. So as we look ahead to the week, we can just expect more lies. He never tells the truth anymore, at all. And that's such a sad thing to say. In Europe, they've had 6 leaders in 7 years. Okay? And while that seems excessive, when they get really tired of a leader over there, their parliament can force him to quit. And this morning, Kerry Steimer resigned. And now someone to the left of him is probably going to be voted in as the new prime minister. What does that mean? We don't know, because they go through them over there like Trump goes through lies. So we don't know. They've had 6 leaders in 7 years. They're just not happy with their leadership. I would love it if we could call an election at the midterms, a confidence vote on Donald Trump. He'd lose. But we are not set up that way. Maybe we should be. There's a documentary out about Hillary Clinton losing the 2016 election, and she called the Electoral College an abomination. And it is. And no one's gotten rid of it, and everyone bitches against it. You want to talk about election fraud and election fixing and rigging and all of that? Forget mail-in voting. Forget all the things they worry about. The Electoral College has stolen more elections than anything. They handed it to George W. Bush when clearly Al Gore had won. He won the popular vote. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote and beat Donald Trump. But the Electoral College said otherwise. Which, by the way, the electors could have changed their votes in the George W. Bush thing, and they didn't. So that's an abomination if we want to really save our elections, get rid of the Electoral College. So there we have it. We have Donald Trump out there just really, really lying now all the time, like every time he speaks. I don't know, did you all see in the Oval? He made a reporter praise his Truth Social post and then made the reporter read it. And the reporter did. Mainstream media is useless. It's just so useless. Me, David Pakman, Steph Miller, that's where you're going to have to go to learn things, because mainstream media, they're idiots. They bark when he says bark. They're just idiots. So, what other lies do you think he'll tell this week? Obviously, if his lips are going to be moving, he's going to be lying, but we know he's lying about Iran. We know he's lying about vandals at the reflecting pool. What else do you think he's lying about this week? Because the economy. Oh, it's great. Gas prices are coming down. Yeah, no. No, that's a lie. So he's just lying. That's all he's doing. And how long before we find out the vandals at the reflecting pool were illegal immigrants? They're here illegally, destroying our pond. Because when you travel all the way from your foreign country and you bust into this country illegally, the first thing on your list is to go ruin Trump's reflecting pool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I bet you dollars to donuts, honey, they are going to blame immigrants for this. So he just keeps lying. And no one calls him on it. No one says, sir, there were no vandals at the pool. The paint has been peeling up since the day you opened it. There is a ton of documented video evidence that it's just peeling up on its own accord. There are cameras, and now there's dead ducks in the pond, by the way. There are cameras. No one's been vandalizing it, sir. I don't know why a member of the media doesn't stand up to him and say that. Excuse me, sir, but you're wrong. But they won't. They won't. You know? So there we have our weekend. Loss. We lost Alan Greenspan and Clive Davis. Lies. Trump is lying about the reflecting pond. 14 people arrested will be able to sue the National Guard for malicious prosecution. They did that at the behest of Donald Trump. Therefore, that's malicious prosecution. They'll have a case. Again, at the reflecting pool, charging anyone with vandalism is like charging someone with litter inside a landfill. You can't vandalize something that's already falling apart. It's in a complete state of disarray. You can't vandalize it. It's doing it itself. You know who vandalized it? Donald Trump. If anyone should be arrested for vandalizing the reflecting pool, it's Donald Trump. It didn't look this way before he and his goons got a hold of it. He destroyed it. Legally, with our money. And what about a refund? Is anybody going to sue the contractor for the millions of dollars? No. I would. You would. My HOA would. We need an HOA in Washington, D.C. We really do. Someone to tell Donald Trump, no. You're in code violation. No. So the boy's lying while he is the biggest vandal of the reflecting pool. Him. He destroyed it. His pronouns. He, him. He destroyed it. With our money. He's the vandal. He's the one that did it. Arrest him. If they're arresting vandals, people that vandalize please arrest him. They won't, but it sure would be nice, wouldn't it? Lord have mercy. All right. Trump destroys everything he touches. Amen. First the Rose Garden, then the East Wing, now the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the lawn at the rotunda behind the White House that the WWE wrestling dome thing that they put up destroyed. The entire lawn of the back of the White House is now gone. Gone. Dirt. Yep. Meth heads have moved in. Sad.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
You know, it's sad that at Clive Davis's funeral, Whitney Houston won't be there to sing. Maybe she will, but you know what I mean. He was a problematic man. First of all, he's gay and was never honest about it. That's, I mean, everybody knew, and I think later in life he came out. But he was gay his whole life. Second of all, he signed Whitney, Aretha, when he was at Arista. I've met him, talked to him, interviewed him. Bruce Springsteen, he reinvigorated Bruce Springsteen's career, Aretha Franklin's career, Whitney Houston's career. There are so many people that Clive Davis signed that are household names that he then made, huge stars. But he was problematic. Some say he was an abuser, verbally, a little physical, but mostly verbally. He's a record guy. And then others, like Michael Jackson, said that he was a swindler and that he made unfair deals and kept way too much of an artist's money. And he used to have what's called an only man, a key man. He used to have a key man clause in all of their contracts. He made them put that in. He made Whitney put in her contract that if he left the label, she would come with him. It's called a key man clause. And he had all of the artists, Bruce Springsteen, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, put that in their contracts with the labels. So he secured his place as head of the labels by saying, if I leave, I take all these people with me. And there was a time when he did leave, and he did take them all. And so he was kind of ruthless, Clive Davis. And as I said, there are those who say he was abusive. There's no doubt on his influence in the music industry and his ear, because he didn't just sign the artist. A lot of times he A&R'd their albums. So a lot of the Whitney Houston songs that you know and love, he brought to Whitney. A lot of the Aretha songs when she reinvented the Who's Zooming Who album. Remember the Who's Zooming Who? Remember that? Going riding on the freeway of love. We're going riding on the freeway. That's Clive Davis. Clive signed her to Arista, picked the music, picked the songs. Clive Davis broke Kelly Clarkson's heart. She released an album, the album that has Since You've Been Gone, and he hated it. He hated the record, so he killed it. He didn't let the label promote it. He didn't give her a budget for videos or to go do a tour. She left the label right after that, by the way. She had a big public feud with Clive Davis. Kelly Clarkson did. And many artists. There's been many artists that have had big public feuds with Clive Davis. So like any overly successful person, he was problematic. Problematic at best. What else is going on in the world? This Kerry Starmer thing. Andy Burnham is probably going to be the next prime minister. He's not a fan of Donald Trump. So we'll see how that plays out. as Keir Starmer announces his resignation. And it gets its 7th prime minister in 6 years. Can you imagine if we could do that here? Yeah, we don't like you, Donald. We're going to hold a no confidence vote. He'd lose it. If you did a poll or an election right now in the United States and Donald Trump was on the ballot, he'd lose. Oh, he wouldn't admit that. We'll win bigly. If I lose, it was election. Rigged. How many rigged elections are we going to hear about this week? Rigged. It's all they say. They've not. It's a good thing the Republicans and MAGA have become so tedious and stupid. Because now everyone just expects that. When there's an election, everyone expects them to yell that it's rigged. They've yelled the sky is falling so many times, no one listens anymore. I read some allegedly liberal at Newsweek who said if you believe the Donald Trump assassinations were staged, that speaks more about you than Donald Trump. Really? Because I was just at the park and they were talking about knee injuries and how there's brand new treatment because formerly, if your cartilage left your knee, they had to replace your knee. I mean, that's a very common. My friend Sherry had it done, and it was in the morning. She went in the morning, went home in the afternoon. That's how quickly now they do knee surgery. Okay? But now there's a shot that will regrow the cartilage. It's in the experimental phase, but it's happening. And why do they need the shot? Because cartilage doesn't regrow. Cartilage is one of the things in your body. Once it's there, it's there. If you hurt it or ruin it, it does not regrow. Donald Trump allegedly got shot right here in his ear in the cartilage. Allegedly. But there's no nick in his ear. Cartilage doesn't regrow. So anyone that says his assassination attempt wasn't fake doesn't know anything about the human body. He would have a scar and a nick out of his ear. He doesn't. He wore a bandage for 2 days. Remember that? The big bandage over his ear for 2 days. And that was it. A bullet wound in the ear would take weeks to heal. And then there'd be a divot, something would be removed. There isn't. So tell me that it wasn't staged. Tell me. Where's the proof that it happened? Because that's the story, the news story we live in now. Something happens, we accept it as fact, and then we move on. No follow-up. What's happened to Charlie Kirk's shooter? Anybody? You know that the bullet doesn't match the gun. Now, they say because the bullet was too mangled or whatever, but the defense team will hammer home that the bullet doesn't match the gun. So what have we heard? And the Luigi trial is going on. Have we heard? The Charlie Kirk trial is allegedly going on. Have we heard? And Erica Kirk, she disappeared, didn't she? She's gone now. Does that mean there's dirt on her? And if she didn't pull back, it was going to get released? Because I know there's dirt on her. But she gone. So these big news stories happen. And then they're just like Epstein. We never resolved the Epstein files, ever. No one in America has yet to be prosecuted for the Epstein files. They are quick to jump on these, quote, vandals at the reflecting pool. I wish Janine Pirro and the others in government were as quick to punish people who ruined underage girls' lives as they are people for touching paint at the reflecting pool. Shows their priorities. They care more about a strip of paint than they do underage girls whose lives were ruined. No follow-up. Epstein's all but gone. Trump did it with his war. Iran did its job for him. Got rid of the Epstein files.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
I feel so sad for MAGA. You know, they come in my chat room and say, "You're fake. The assassination attempt was real. Someone behind him died." Really? When was that person's funeral? Why didn't the media cover that? Someone killed, but right behind a seated president? You would think, or actually that was during the campaign, you would think the media would cover that person's funeral. Did they? I didn't see it. Did you see the body be carried away? No. Or you don't think for a moment Donald Trump would have sacrificed a civilian to win the election? You really think murdering someone in the crowd was going too far for these people? You really do. The same people who drop bombs on schools that kill school children? The same people that cover up for white men that screw underage girls? The same person that sexually molested a woman in a dressing room at a store? The same person that authorized his people to cheat on documents that then later got him 39 felony convictions? You really think that person would have a problem? The same person that probably threw his wife down the stairs so he could use her coffin to bury all the documents that he's going to give to the Saudis? You really think that person wouldn't sacrifice one of his MAGA people? Or you really think that there's not some MAGA person that wouldn't offer up their life for him in exchange for the family being paid a lot of money? Then you're naive. Then you haven't been paying attention, and I'm sorry. But see how MAGA doesn't like it? They can create false narratives about child sex rings in basements of pizza parlors with Hillary Clinton attached. So someone can show up at the business and say he's here to liberate the children in the basement, a Chinese restaurant that didn't even have a basement. They're on board with that. They're good with that conspiracy theory. They believe, MAGA believes so many fake lies that when you throw an actual truth at them, they think it's fake, a conspiracy. But yet they believe the most ridiculous of things. They believe Donald Trump won this election fairly. They believe that. They don't believe that Elon Musk used his capabilities to win the election for Donald Trump. When Donald Trump said so out loud, when he thanked Elon Musk out loud for winning the election for him. Boy, he sure does know those computers. He sure does know those voting machines. Yeah, we won every swing state. Thank you, Elon. The voting machines that used Elon Musk's Starlink. The voting machines that got a major software upgrade 2 days before the election, which was not approved by the election authorities and now has litigation about it. Oh, but they think that's okay. If that had happened and it had been Democrats that won, they'd be screaming how it was rigged. But turn it around and do it to them? Oh, and they're outraged. How dare you say that Donald Trump lied and cheated and faked the election and used a fake assassination attempt to get him up in the polls? How dare you say such a thing? Have you all heard yourselves? Doctor, heal thyself. Look in the mirror. You maggots are sad now. You're not even disgusting anymore. You're just sad. You're sad zealots who follow the worst human being living on planet Earth right now. Donald Trump does excel at one thing, being the absolute worst human on the planet. I mean, what a title. 8 billion people, and he's actually the worst one. I mean, I guess there's a little pride in that. You know, maybe he should boast a little. Did you see he couldn't even pin a medal on someone? He couldn't even tie a medal because he has dementia and crippling arthritis, because he is sick as a dog. But when you say that to MAGA, what do? Biden. It's like MAGA has Biden Tourette's. Every time you mention something about Donald Trump, their Biden Tourette's kicks in. Biden. Biden, Biden. Biden old. Biden senile. Biden, Biden. Every time. MAGA has Biden Tourette's. Everything that's gone wrong now, gas prices, Biden. Inflation, Biden.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Oh, God, someone in the chat room. Bill was on the island, bro. No, he wasn't. Everyone involved in the Epstein files, every victim, Jeffrey Epstein himself, everybody says that Donald Trump or that Bill Clinton never went to the island and that Bill Clinton was not a client. Epstein made that clear himself in his notes. Ghislaine Maxwell has made it clear in her testimony. The girls themselves have made it clear. Not one girl has ever come forward and said she was with Bill Clinton, ever. Donald Trump, on the other hand, was sending the guy heart-shaped birthday cards. Was at his wedding. Let him come to Mar-a-Lago. Had business deals with him. Flew on his plane all the time. You see what I mean? They've got Tourette's. You mention Epstein and Trump, and the first thing they say is Clinton, 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 Clinton. You mention politics and the country, and their Tourette's goes Biden, 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 Biden. These people are mentally deficient, and it's sad. Well, I thought Russia stole the election. No, Russia influenced the election. We have actual facts. I know that MAGA hates facts. MAGA really hates facts. I think they're allergic. You know, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I think they break out in hives. They start sneezing. They hate facts. They can't stand them. And they need like a Benadryl for their allergy to facts. You know, we know there is factual evidence that Russia and China used. So right now, there is factual evidence that over 50% of the most influential MAGA accounts are run by foreign nations. That's in evidence. It's not contested. No one contested because it's real. Half of the biggest MAGA influencer social media accounts are run by foreign nations on behest of Donald Trump. Why? To influence elections. And they can't accept it. In their mind, it's like I said, they have Tourette's. Biden, Biden, Clinton, Obama, Obama, Biden, Clinton, Obama. You know, Barack Obama had an incredible ceremony for the opening of his library in Chicago. It opened on Juneteenth, the day that the Union soldiers arrived in Texas, one of the last states to allow their slaves to be freed. So the Union went to Texas to free their slaves. And that happened June 19th, and that's when Obama opened the center. And he had, you know, Jennifer Hudson, Christina Aguilera, Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, George Lucas. They had Stephen Colbert. They had, you know, Spike Lee. They had some Oprah Winfrey. They had some of Kamala Harris, Bill and Hillary Clinton, George W. Bush, Joe Biden. They had the biggest names in entertainment and the biggest names in politics there. And then you look at a Trump gathering, Kid Rock, Vanilla Ice. They can't even throw a concert for the 4th of July because no one wants anything to do with him or MAGA. And MAGA has trouble with that. Obama pulled in the biggest celebrities in the world, and they can't even pull in one, and they have a problem with that. So their Tourette's kicks in. And Obama had no accomplishments. He voted in a Republican health care plan. Bullshit. He voted in a plan that the Republicans would agree with. It was not a Republican plan. If it was a Republican plan, why have Republicans done everything they could since it passed to undo it? See how they don't make sense? Well, Obama gets credit for voting in and signing a Republican health care plan. If it was a Republican health care plan, why has Obamacare been on the #1 hit list for Republicans if it was their plan? Because it wasn't. But these people can't say that 2 and 2 equals 4. They have the IQ of 4. And it's sad now. It's just sad. I'm no longer angry at MAGA. I just feel pity for them. They are so stupid. And it's so sad. And they're so brainwashed. You know, I watched that thing on Netflix about the supermodel cult. And the Hoyt guy, he makes great points about when you're in a cult, you don't know it. You don't say, oh, I'm in a cult, or hey, I joined a cult. You don't know it. Your brain doesn't rationalize it. You think you're just part of a movement. You don't know that you've been brainwashed and that you're in a cult. That's why there's deprogrammers. Because you have to actually be shown and taught that you're in a cult. MAGA is a cult by definition. It goes, every single definition of the word cult applies to MAGA. And they will not tear down their leader. They won't. Now. They will one day. Cults always break up and they always turn on the leader. Unless the leader kills them all. Jim Jones killed all of his people. And Donald Trump is trying to get all of his cult members killed. He's trying to starve them by making food too unaffordable. He's trying to make them homeless by making rents soar through his policies that cause such great inflation. He's trying to game the stock market and one day have it crash because he doesn't care. He will have made his money. He doesn't care about MAGA. That's the worst part. They're in a cult where their leader only cares about himself. And that's just sad for them because he's leading them right off the cliff and they're willfully going. They're just singing and skipping away with their Tourette's. And as they fall over the cliff, all you hear is Biden, Obama, Obama, Biden, Biden, Obama, Clinton. As they're falling down over the cliff into the abyss, all you hear, Biden, Obama, Clinton, fake news, fake news. They're so over. They're done. Their 15 minutes is done. Everyone sees right through them, their leader, and their party, even former MAGA members. And every day, more people leave MAGA than join it. Those statistics are out there as well. He's bleeding supporters. Now, even of Republicans, only about 40% say they support him. That used to be 94%. Now only 40. I mean, he's bleeding supporters. Because they see that he's not doing anything. The Ukrainian war still going on. Iran still going on. Do you know that Israel is still attacking Gaza? Did you even know that? I saw a doctor on the BBC in Gaza yesterday because Israel attacked it again. And she said she had to treat a decapitated woman who was 9 months pregnant. And this doctor, who was in tears on the BBC, said she had to deliver a baby from the body of a woman who had been decapitated at the hands of Benjamin Netanyahu's bombs, which means us, by the way. And we wonder why Iran and Hezbollah and Hamas doesn't want peace with us, because we're seen as Israel. Netanyahu is continuing his genocide. Trump isn't stopping him because Trump is impotent. He needs political Viagra. He has no clout. Even his allies, like in Italy, she's turning on him now because he lied about her. And she's like, he's lying about me. He lied about the photo last week. All he does is lie. He lied about the photo. He lied about the reflecting pool and vandals. He lies about the Iran war. He lies about the economy. He lies about our position in the world. All he does is lie, and they keep gobbling his lies. They're lie eaters. You've heard of sin eaters? MAGA are now lie eaters. They just gobble up his lies. It's food for them. It's oxygen for them. It's sustenance for them. And they hate people who see through the lies. They hate it. They're enemies. Donald Trump literally sat in the Oval Office on Thursday or Friday and debated whether Democrats were communist or not. He should be impeached for that alone. Because we no longer have a two-party system. We have his party. That's it. He has vilified the other side. All he calls them is communists, Democrats, on and on, criminals, whatever. You can't have a two-party system when one party is continually attacking the other as illegitimate, not there, filled with criminals. So no, we don't have a two-party system at the moment. We have a one-party system, his party. And it's not working. And poor MAGA. They sit there in my chat room, in the comment sections under my videos, defending him, a sexual predator, a liar, a murderer. I mean, he ordered attacks on Brazilian boats when we weren't at war and people died. That's murder. When you order somebody killed that's done nothing to you, that's murder. He dropped a bomb on a school in Iran. He did it. He ordered the attack. That's murder. He murdered children. He has now, this week, they just stopped funding AIDS medication programs in South Africa. It only cost us $400 million a year. That's it. That's all it cost. Not the $300 billion that the Iran war is going to cost us. It only cost $400 million. People are going to die. Every article written says people are going to die because of Donald Trump cutting that funding. He had no reason to cut it other than it goes to AIDS patients, and he's homophobic. And MAGA thinks he's doing something great, killing people, causing people to die, is doing something great. Well, let the South Africans with AIDS take care of themselves. Wait until the rest of the world says, let America take care of itself. Wait till we are so down on our luck because of what he is doing to us and our economy, and he's raping it. He's taking all of our money. I guarantee you he got a kickback from the reflecting pool money. I guarantee you he did. Everything he does is a grift. Everything is a grift. And when he's done grifting, when he's taken all he can from the American people, he'll leave. He'll go to Russia, or he'll go to some country where he can have his money and be rich and not be prosecuted. And they don't even see that, these people. They just act like this is all normal. It's not. It's not normal. And now all I can feel is sad for them. I just look at them and think, God, you missed the point. You know, you scream with your Tourette's. Obama, Biden, Obama, Clinton. You never say his name, Trump, when it comes to criminals. And he's the biggest. Proven. I'm not slandering him. He's got felony convictions. He is a felon. In civil court, he was found guilty of molestation. The judge said rape. That's what the courts have said, not me. He's been impeached twice for his crimes. Twice. And yet they follow him. And if you question them or if you bring up other things, then you're the problem. I'm the problem. Oh, they make fun of my list because they're 12 years old. You know, really. I mean, not even a 12-year-old would. They're a bratty 5-year-old. And that's their IQ. When you got to make fun of the way someone talks because you have no moral high ground on which to stand, because you follow a criminal and anything you say is colored by that. It's very strange. Criminals. I found out about criminals this weekend. Did you know that David Berkowitz is still alive? I had no idea. I saw an interview with him from 4 years ago, and I looked it up. He's still alive. The son of Sam is still alive at 73. He's been in jail for 41, 42, I think they said 46 years. And he's alive. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam. He's alive. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, I thought he'd be dead a long time ago. There's a criminal for you. That's a horrible criminal. Why we've paid for his life for 47 years, I don't even know, but we did. But he's still alive. I was like, oh my God, the son of Sam still lives. I also saw a thing on William Bonin, the freeway killer from Southern California from 1978 to 1980, who picked up 16 to 18-year-old young men that were out either hitchhiking or walking or just being out, and he picked them up in Long Beach and Orange County. I was 17 in 1979. 14 other 17-year-old men died that year and were dumped on the freeway. I could have been one of them. I was in the area, I was of the age, and I had the look. When I watched that show, all I did was thank the universe. I said, thank you for not letting me be killed. All right, when we come back, you have to be proud with Hatred So Loud, a song I wrote for MAGA, for all the haters. Yep, that will be right when we come back. You have to.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
All right. It is Pride Month, and there's a lot of hate out there. I get a lot of hate, and there's a lot of hate. So I wrote a song called You Have to Be Proud, and I just got the very first mix from Leo Frappier. There's going to be several other remixes, but I couldn't wait to debut it. It's not even available. You can't stream it anywhere. You can't. This is just because you're listeners of my show. You get to hear it first. So here is You Have to Be Proud.
You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You want to feel joy. You want to feel pride. You want to share love that you have inside. But just as you start to dance and sing, the loudness arrives and hatred it brings. That's when you must rise and sing loud and clear. That's when you must rise and vanquish the fear. Don't let the darkness ruin your day. The light you shine will still lead the way. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. So dance in the streets. Go ahead, show your pride. The haters can move. Let love move them aside. Just know that your soul isn't dancing alone. Just know that so many will help out the storms. Your pride is a rainbow. The colors so bright. It's something to cling to on the darkest of nights. So wrap yourself
I am Karel. You be who you want to be, so long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
You have to be proud.
Oh my gosh, in heaven. Oh, I love that song. I love that song. I love that song. I love that song. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I am so glad I wrote it. I wrote it. It's my song. And it just sums up how I feel. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You want to feel love. You want to feel joy. You want to feel pride that you have deep inside. But just as you start to dance and sing, their hatred arrives and loudness it brings. That's when you must rise and sing loud and clear. That's when you must rise and vanquish the fear. Don't let the darkness ruin your day. The light that you shine will still lead the way. Your light that you shine has to lead the way, because you have to be proud with hatred so loud. Because your song is a song they'll never sing. Your love is the kind their hatred can't bring. Your pride is a sword, a weapon so strong, it'll silence their noise. So go carry on. Yes, that is my message to you today. Through the sea of haters, take out your sword of pride, your sword of truth, and fight right on through, because you have to be proud with this hatred so loud. You've got to feel strong when fighting so long. We ain't new to this. We ain't new to this fight. If you're gay, bi, trans, if you're a woman, if you're black or an immigrant, Chinese, Pacific Asian, whatever, you are not new to this. So dance in the streets. Go ahead, show your pride. Let the haters move. Let love move them aside. Just know that your soul isn't dancing alone. Just know that so many will help block the stone.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.